mean, we were to give birth to our first son, and we had even had to, and this is where me and you disagree anyway on church matter. So we had to go to a redeem midwife free because they don't charge. Now, if we were to go to the normal hospital, they will have charged us, but we knew we didn't have money. You know.
Was free to the people. I'm with you 100% to shout out.
Okay. So it was the maternity, everything was done in that redeem maternity because it was free. But we still needed to pay at least for some items that they were going to use for the new baby and all of that. I think it was 4,000 at that point, and I couldn't even afford that. Thank God somebody was able to give us the 4,000 naira there. I paid the person back. If I remember, when she started labor, I'd gone to the hospital and then the thing was delayed. And I had a meeting in Abeokuta, hoping that I will make some money and be able to, whatever the bills were going to be. I remember 7 days later, you need to do naming. So there was a lot of hustle. And some people wanted to buy bulk SMS from us. So I'd gone for a meeting, but came back. The money didn't show up at that day. And by the time I came back, it was the evening. She had not given birth. I laid down at the clinic, and before 4 a.m. she had not given birth. At that point, if I went to the chapel because the church was beside the clinic, and then went to kneel down and begin to pray to God, because my father-in-law didn't approve of our wedding. He said I was not ready. Exactly. Because he had argued that I wasn't responsible. Because I went to his house with palm slippers. I had this native clothes. I just looked simple. And you can imagine how slim I was. It was over 12 years ago. So he looked at me head to toe. I was like, this one you cannot take care of my daughter. All this. And then he said, what am I doing? I said, digital marketing. So what is digital marketing? You know that we start all this social media thing. We're consulting for businesses in those days. So digital marketing, which kind of business be digital marketing? So he said, this one I don't get job. You cannot afford to take care of my daughter. So but my wife insisted I was the one she wanted to marry. So we went ahead. Our mom supported. Those who supported, we did court wedding, we did our wedding and all that without his blessing. So now she wants to give birth. And then labor has been going on for over 10 hours. I remember going to kneel there in that church. I said, God, you saw my conscience. Even me, I don't agree, say, I know go marry him. Now she still say, let me show my, you saw my conscience. I beg. Let mother and child come out safely. I beg. Because this one, if anything happens, I'm dead. Even me. That will kill me. And so we had the baby, but naming was not another thing. I think I used to pastor then. I gave the welfare person 8,000 naira. That's all I had. That even if na Zobo and carving biscuit they can do, naming we should do naming. That's why you saw that picture. It was horrific. I mean, that picture.
Dr. Stephen, how long ago?
Funny enough, this was just 11 years ago.
So in about a decade,
yes,
you moved from a man who could not afford to name his child to a man who owns Banana Island and an office that Daddy Freeze nearly broke his leg going to the top.
Now you are helping us that we didn't have elevator. Don't worry, God will help us to have elevator there.
No wonder your stomach is flat and my own is beginning to show. How did you do it? And do you have opportunities for people who are watching right now? 10 years. You guys don't understand. Dr. Stephen, please don't be angry. I want to ask you a very personal question. That your house in Banana Island, please. It's like, how much do they sell it?
Daddy Freeze, I don't discuss things like this. I'm a very conservative person.
Do in 10 years.
I'm a very conservative person when it comes to my own personal asset, but when it comes to corporate wise, but generally Banana Island, properties, I mean, depend. Land in itself, you're going for 1,200 square meter land. It goes for as high as between 2 to 4 billion. Just land, not even the house.
Hey, person no fit pay for hospital bill 11 years ago. Today, he can afford 2 billion for land. They never put the house there.
That is, yeah,
I'm sorry, Dr. Stephen. I know this is
so my argument about wealth, right? And I've always said it is that wealth is a function of two things. Number one, savings, and then number two, investment. And then the third one is now leveraging on other people's what we call OPT and OPM, other people's time and other people's money. Because there's a time where your own money alone cannot allow you scale. So when people now know, Stephen, for example, knows, I'll give you an example. There are some very wealthy people in Nigeria that handle their personal account, social media account. You not be aware I'm in charge. But the only reason they trust me is that, first of all, this guy is not hungry. He's not going to, sabotage my brand, okay, for anything. Nobody can come and pay Stephen to come and start chunking out wrong content for my name, right? And they know how to build that credibility. Same thing with wealth or managing money. Because some of us, people say we are rich, but it's really people trusting us with their resources as a result of having proven that we know how to manage money well. I mean, we're talking about Herbert Wigwe passing on, right? How did he get that kind of wealth? It was that he demonstrated that if you can give him XY, he can turn it to XY. And so before you know it, people started trusting him. So for me, oftentimes, I don't always want to make it look like, oh, it was just one by himself or herself. It's also that you have built credibility, you've built social capital, people trust you, people first of all know that this guy can turn 1,000 naira, which is my story. I started a company 16 years ago with just 1,000 naira. And so they could see what I've been able to do on my own. So now you can have people then trusting us with millions and millions. And of course, if I manage such with you, I'm entitled to a portion of that as well. And that's how gradually you're able to build wealth in reality. Yeah.
I want to ask you a question.
Yeah.
You had started your business with 1,000 naira. And I had known you, and I will have given you another 1,000 naira. So it's Dr. Stephen Daddy Freeze and Co. So everything you would have done half. But the problem is, I did not know you then. Is there anything you are still doing that people can tap into? Of course, I always tell people, any business you do is done at your own risk. And I like Dr. Stephen. He's one of my favorite people when it comes to that. He said, if you have any iota of doubt, don't invest. But Dr. Stephen, if I'd given you 1,000 naira 16 years ago, maybe I'll have boys quarter in Banana Island, even if I don't get a house. So what are you doing now? Is there anything people can tap into? Is there any new project, ongoing project that 16 years from now, people can look back and say, oh, wow, I made a good choice in 2024, and I was able to build something for myself, and today I am all the merrier, all the happier for it?
Well, first of all, let me start at the freeze by saying clearly, and I love that question, that if I had known you then, I would have invested. But the truth is, like many people said, you will not have invested. And the reason you will not have invested is because I have not demonstrated value. I've not demonstrated that the reason you are willing to do now is because you could see the trajectory. So like people say, result terminating some. However, you and I have to face the fact that business is risk. Sometimes you have the best intentions and money is still lost at the end of the day. And at the problem we have in Nigeria is unsolicited advice. Many of the people watching me now, their problem is the so-called nice friends that they have. Be careful, shine your eye. Don't lose money. Oga, we all lost money. I'm here because I've lost money. I've done videos of how I lost 120 million in real estate. I've done video of how, even Dubai, I lost over $1 million. I'm still on that one now. Right? We lost money.
Office yesterday when you were making phone calls about that.
About the Dubai one. Right? So we lose money. But why we are here is that we don't give up. We understand we are taking a risk. We understand, but we know also that if we don't take the risk, we will never be rich. My quote is this, and I want people to write this down. Money is a reward for risk taking. Period. Money is a reward for risk taking. You don't take the risk. It's simple. So all this, many of us, and I keep saying it, I thank God today that I didn't listen to some of my friends. There's no land I bought that even my lawyer did not tell me be careful. There's no land. In fact, I was still talking to my lawyer now. We have 5 properties we want to buy. Every one of them, he has issues with it. We just spoke before I joined this call. I had to say to myself, okay, we have to take some measure of risk. There's no perfect land. We need to move. Because this thing you've been dragging, as well as this land, he has been on it since last year. Due diligence, before you say, hold on, I need to check something. They raised one issue. Okay, this is a risk. Okay, we have to go ahead. And if I did not take those risks, I won't be here. It's easy for a lot of people now to admire, but you don't want to take the risk. Life and business is a risk. So let's get that clear. So all these unsolicited advice they are giving you, they don't like you. And I said this often. Somebody was commenting, I said, you that you have refused to take risk, where you dey? Are you better? Are you better off? Life itself is a risk. So all this, be careful, shine your eye. You've been shining your eye all these years. How your life be? How much money you don't make now? You don't turn billionaire for shining your eye. But back to the question, because it's important we reiterate this even before telling people about opportunity. Because all the culture of be careful, watch it, shine your eye, we lose money. I lose money, but I keep moving, right? And ultimately, I win some, I lose some. But over time, with experience, with calculated risk, with mentorship, with people who have track record, you will win more than you are losing. It's as simple as ABC, right? But to opportunities, we have many. In Nigeria, in fact, today now, we still had a tour of 2 of our estates where we just open site office. So one of these we're doing now is to open site office in our estates in Nigeria. And you can go to Ovation, a social media page, city people, because they came to cover it. Channels and TVC were also on ground. We had Kolo Olotu, Latif, the actor, and all of that. And Danny Freeze has been there we went to Ekpe and Ibejuleki. But in Dubai as well, in fact, this Saturday, if you live in Dubai or you're traveling across Dubai, we're doing a tour of Dubai properties that you can invest in and make money for yourself. In the UK, we represent one of the biggest developers. There as well. So with over 70 developments that you can invest in. In the US, we're then working on a project that is our own, and it's going to last for the next 7 to 10 years. It's a major project. It's a baby. I'm very passionate about it. If you see me anywhere, that's the one I'm talking about every day. And I am saying this, that this is not just about money. Those who work in my office, they know I've never once tell them how much is Jitas going to make from this project. This is about legacy. This is about our reputation. This is about our image. In reality, I have seen that we need to redeem our image. Daddy Freeze, are you telling me there are no Indians that scam? When we're growing up in the 80s and in the early 90s, when they say an Indian man, Daddy Freeze, do you remember what we think of? Number one, that they score 99 goals.
Yes.
And Number two, that they change paper to dollar. right?
Yes.
Today, the same Indian community has taken over the tech Silicon Valley in America, right? Now, and they come together and they do business. Don't they scam each other? Are there no scam issues?
Of
But
course.
do they put it on their head the way we carry? We are the ones who advertise our own people and say, don't trust a Nigerian. I was in an hotel some days ago at the Freeze, and I saw these two white couples. They sell private aircraft parts in Nigeria. So I got, and they're Americans. So we got talking, and I was saying, oh, we have some property if you want to buy in Banana Island. It's safe. And they laughed. You know what they said to me?
What?
They said, we have never felt unsafe in Nigeria. They said, in fact, we feel more unsafe in Florida than in Nigeria. Two white couple. He said, in fact, we bought our land in Ibejuleki facing the beach. We're told that it doesn't have C of O, and maybe later in future the government may come after it. But we paid already. What do you think? But we love near the beach. We've never felt unsafe in Nigeria. Two white couples. You Nigeria, waiting at the talk. Right? You Nigerians, they come and buy land. Hey, we never take risk. So my own argument okay, many of us said Japa is the next thing we need to do that the Freeze. Many of us have Japa, okay, including myself. I don't live that much in Nigeria. But the question is, what have we done with the Japa? We all claim that these countries have better amenities, they have better system, that we can do better there, that the laws are better. Okay? But in reality, how come we go to those places, we have not started our businesses in those places? And you and I know, no matter what country in the world you go to, no matter what country in the world, you cannot be rich by being an employee. That's just the truth. You can either be rich by owning a business that has a structure and is able to, the equity helps you to become richer, or you become rich by becoming an investor in an existing business. Nobody becomes rich by being an employee, right? If you like, if you pay you $50 an hour, $100 an hour, you will still pay your bills and your mortgage and send your children to school. At the end of the day, you're not going to be rich. Okay? All the so-called rich people that you talk about were given equity in their companies. And we better get it straight. And in Africa, every small thing, the definition of rich is that you have a house and you have a new car.
And your children are going to expensive school.
Children are going to school. That's the definition of rich for an average Nigerian. And that's the definition of financial freedom. So, in reality, is that, and then some of them change it to Naira. That's why most of you in diaspora, and I challenge you, after all, we're all together in diaspora there, is when you come to Nigeria, you begin to buga everybody. By the time you change your dollar or pounds to Naira, then go to party and pray like there's no tomorrow. When you get back to the UK or to the US, you are back to your 9 to 5 and to the real hustle. And many of your people back at home do not know how hard you work in the cold. They don't know how hard you work. But because you two have come to spray so much money, they think that you are packing money on the floor. So we have a lot of projects, and my argument at the Freeze is we must think investment. Yes, a lot of us have lost, and including myself, but we have to think of investment. There are some people that they want to bring to the show today. I hope you're able to pull them up. Who have invested with us?
That's what I'm trying to hear.
Who have invested with our company, and they've been earning every year. And many of these people, I've never met them before, and some of them will probably even tell you, we've never seen face to face. They call our office, invested, and every year the company pays them the returns that is due to them. So please, if you are one of those that should be called up, can you just comment and say, I am with GVest? Okay, so just type with GVest.
Can't seem to. Okay, I've seen one of them here. Oh wow, I've seen the second one here too. Okay, I've sent you guys requests. Please accept too. I've seen 2 of them, and I've sent the 2 of them requests.
Okay.
Please accept.
So we brought a few people who have done business with, because over the years, again, I keep saying, there's no perfect company. You can't have thousands of customers and everybody is happy. I mean, there are challenges, customer care issues, but over the years, we've been able to build credibility. We've had, great people do business with us. Like I said, most of them, I don't even know them, but they heard about our company, they did business, and we've done our best to make sure, to the best of our ability, to treat them right. And they hopefully we're able to have some of them share their story with you. And for me, that is the ultimate way to build wealth. Invest. I'm not asking you to quit your job. I'm just saying that prioritize.
Fire your boss. Fire your boss. Motivational speakers will tell you, fire your boss. No.
I mean, if you fire your boss, the reality, I see Obobo Jacinta says, what? I'm not sure one of them have come up yet. So we've seen situations where people just tell you fire your boss, and I tell people your salary is your capital for your investment. Your salary is the capital for even starting your business, right? So do not. What you just need to do, if you eventually want to go and start your own business, save a good portion of your salary and later go and use it as a capital. Because if you are coming to someone like me and say, Dr. Stephen, I want to start my business, invest, I will ask you, how much have you saved of your own? That's the first question. So this current job where you work, you should treat it well. You should work hard and treat your employer well, understanding that it is where you raise the capital for the company you want to start. And for those of you who don't have the intention to go and start your own business, it's the same similar model. The money you are saving is where you have the capital to invest, okay? In buying shares that ultimately you are then going to be able to use, whether you are buying shares, whether you are buying property, whether you are investing in debt syndication like the ones that we do with GVES, and ultimately, we're able to build wealth. So somebody said, what's GVES? GVES is a subsidiary of GTEX Holdings, where companies that I founded, and is an investment vehicle where people are able to invest. We put that money into real estate assets, and we're able to give you a portion of what we make every year. Now, we are not those who do 40% every year, 50% every year. We don't do that. We're not a Ponzi scheme. And we've built a name that we want to protect, right? Over the years, we want to keep it that way. And what we do is called debt syndication. And in the case of a debt syndication, I will explain that to you. In the case of a debt syndication, it means that I'm taking the headache. There's also equity syndication. So when you're doing, and I'm just giving you background so that you understand investment. So when you're doing investment, there's equity syndication and there's debt syndication. When you do equity syndication, I can tell you that come into a deal, I'm buying this house. Me, I will draw for 80% and 60%. You draw 40% and you own 40%. And then you're excited that I'm giving you 40% of that deal and you're putting money. But what you don't know in the case of equity syndication is that in many cases, anything that goes wrong, we share it. In other words, if the deal goes bad, you lose your 40%, me, I lose my 60%. And this is part of the reason that the freeze where it then becomes as if people start shouting to the rooftop, I did an investment, I lost my money, I don't trust anybody. Did you ask the right questions? Okay? You say you are giving me 40%. What is my relationship with you? Is it debt syndication? Is it equity? Meaning that if anything goes wrong with this deal, am I also losing what I gave you? Okay? And that's why I have a quotable quote, and I think we should all write it down. Always invest in the knowledge of an investment before the investment itself. Always invest. Like someone is saying, syndication grammar. When you lose your money, you know that you needed to know that grammar, right? When you lose your money, right? Always invest in the knowledge of an investment before the investment. So don't rush into, I want to put my money somewhere. Can I even understand what I'm getting myself into? Can I understand the risk level? What I've noticed that the freeze is that many of us are just greedy. We want the opportunities with the highest returns. And as soon as you can promise us the highest return, we put our money. When it goes bad, we're ready to go on social media and begin to shout, they cheated me, it's a scam, it's a this. But the reality is that, did you get the knowledge? Did you ask the right questions? Did you even say, how come you're able to give me up to 50% every year? Because America is not a place you can inflate profits. You can't just inflate things anyhow. Okay, you can't just inflate things anyhow. So if people are promising you certain returns, you have to say, break it down for me. What guarantees that you will be able to make this kind of money? What's the guarantee that this thing will come? But we don't ask these questions at the freeze. I mean, when we pushed out this our project, many people reach out to us and we got a good response. But you know what all of them kept saying? But the return is too small. I'll put into crypto. Yes, you can put into crypto. Nobody's denying that. But Bitcoin can crash, right? Literally can crash to, $300 the same way it did, and has continued to do. Now, when that happens, what happened to the money you've invested? So we must begin to ask ourselves, and I'm not asking not to do Bitcoin. I'm not asking not to do Bitcoin because, trust me, I even teach people how to invest in Forex and crypto. So I'm not asking not to. But how do you balance your investment? That some of it are low risk, right? So that everything is not high risk and you end up losing all your money all the time, which is usually what we do. Yeah, which is usually what I see that happen to a lot of our people and how we always lose our money at the end of the day.
Somebody said, Mr. Steven, give us 2 sure odds. This investment na long thing. When you see people do X-ray, their bones are shaped in such a way that it spells out poverty. Their bone marrow, under microscope, you expand it, you see poverty. Poverty for their cells be like Gucci. When you buy Gucci shoe, like this Gucci shoe, the way Gucci of their cells. You are here listening to opportunity, and what you are saying is that sure bet that sent your father to an early grave. That sure bet. That's what I say sure bet, betting house. I'm not saying don't bet, but for betting is a hobby. You don't invest in a betting house. Who did that declaration?
So I mean, what my argument at the freeze is that this is why I don't listen to all this. Everybody's a scam. They scam me. A lot of the people saying it, they're just re-echoing what somebody told them, right? And that's just the truth. They're just re-echoing what somebody said. Not that, they were serious themselves to take life seriously. Betting is your choice. I don't do that. I don't gamble. I don't bet. But I can tell you categorically that my result has terminated my insult. You don't need to agree with my principles, but what I've achieved, my story, is an amazing one. And is a proof that you can build something great. It's not going to be overnight. It's not going to be sudden. Like I said, even the 11 years ago, about the naming of my son, I've started. It wasn't like I was just starting. I've started. Nothing just was showing that time. And, but I kept at it. And today, things are beginning. There are evidence that convince people that, God is faithful. So somebody is asking, what's the return? I think what I would advise you can send a DM, you can contact our team, and because the returns differs, so it depends on what you are investing, right? That determines the returns that you get, and we are as flexible as possible. So you can, so this is a WhatsApp number. You can chat me on this WhatsApp. Now, let me be very straightforward. I am not customer care. I have over hundreds of people who work for me. So, and I'm a different kind of businessman, right? I easily block people. That the freeze told you was in my office yesterday. I saw people working there. They were employed to talk to you and to talk to you in a nice way. Me now, my mood is different, right? I may be in the midst of something and you disturb me too much. I block you. So what is proper is when you chat me, I will connect you with customer care people who were trained to talk in a professionally nice way, talk to you in a way that they will massage your ego. I'm not sure that is my job, right? So let me just put that out there before you go and tell that the freeze that we reach out to the man, he didn't even reply. Sometimes I don't even reply message in days. So, but WhatsApp chat, that's the way.
I don't bother you. Once I see Farouk, I'm okay.
Please tell them so that they know.
I don't bother. I know if I get a message to Dr. Stephen, I have my channels. But if it's something that I'm not in a hurry, I can just drop a DM anytime he's ready within the next 1, 2, 3 days. If it's not urgent, he will reply. But if I need to talk to him now, the business is structured in such a way that there's somebody to talk to. Even yesterday when we started talking finances, Dr. Stephen said, that's not my call. Daddy Freeze, over to. Then and there, he handed me somebody, said, talk to this person. So it's a properly structured company. Please, what are the numbers?
So, because I got some feedback that the last show we did, some people kept insisting, it was Dr. Stephen they saw that the free show. They are talking to somebody different and they're scared. So what I'm doing this time, I'm giving my WhatsApp chat directly. You chat me up, I'm the one you are chatting. And then I will refer you to somebody in the office who will then give you all the details, right? At least you now know. It's not as if I'm not sure, because again, I get one. I wonder, and I can't blame some of you. Some of us have gone through a lot in terms of investment. You've been treated in a funny way, so you find it difficult to trust people. But like I keep saying, you have no choice than to keep trusting and risking. We all are still taking risk, right? I mean, I'm on a project now that is going to cost $150 million. I'm taking the highest, financing of my life, 105 million. If that fails, I'm in big trouble. That's a risk, right? But guess what? By the time it's successful, because I know it will succeed, I will be able to pull liquidity as high as $1 billion from the American, market. So that's the way life is. The higher the risk, the higher the reward. And the only reason I'm also taking that risk is because the reward is enough for me to say, oh, let's put chook head, right? All done, I die. But because for this project, it's a $150 million project. I'm taking a facility of $105 million. I'm raising $45 million, right? It's a risk. I mean, there are many risks. The advantage in America because the land itself has insurance, the construction has insurance. So that's one good thing with America, right? So everything we're doing is insurance all the way, and it's very structured and regulated. However, it's still a risk. And I'm very aware of that. And guess what? It's the biggest risk of my life. And the answer is, are you interested? You are not interested? You can say, well, I don't get mine. Don't worry, we have the lesser risk one in Epe, or in Bejuleki, or in Sokotedo, or yes. So go and take
in Naira, because one thing I've noticed that the government is very emphatic about is spending naira. You live in Nigeria, you don't have to spend dollars.
Yeah.
Is there a way I can invest naira with your company and still be a part of this $150 million project? So I invest my naira and I get my rewards in naira. Is there?
Yes, absolutely. In fact, that the phrase, you'll be happy to know that the returns in Naira is higher. We give between 18 to 26% if you're investing in Naira and you're getting your returns in Naira. Yes, the returns in Naira is higher. Yes, we give, in fact, some of those who are supposed to come and give testimony are invested with us in Naira and they got their returns in Naira. And they probably will have told us, I don't know why they are not able to come up. And please, can they follow that freeze? You need to follow his account first. And then you probably need to download and re-update your WhatsApp.
One of them has finally come. A business.
Literally wrapped all the way around that. And it'll come back in a circle to where I got.
What do we have? Can we see your face?
All the way around.
Hello. What do we have?
Hello, good evening.
Good evening.
Yeah. Greetings from Rwanda, Kigali.
All the way from Kigali.
Nice to meet you.
And
are you a Nigerian or you're Rwandese?
I'm a Nigerian. And I've been with GTEx since 2022. I was among the first set of people that did the land banking in 2022. And also I subscribed to the Beryl Estates. I subscribed to the Beryl Estate last year, the one Uncle Dele was involved in. And yes, so it's nice to have you guys here again. And I'm enjoying this conversation. I'm learning a lot also.
Oh, so you are right now in Kigali, Rwanda.
Yes.
And you invested with Dr. Stephen.
Yes.
How long ago did you invest?
I invested last year when Uncle Dele came to do the opening.
That's Dele Momodu.
Yes, Dele Momodu last year.
Okay. How much did you invest and how much did you get back?
That's buying the land. It was I invested 15 million, but I got a waiver for the what they call it, documentation. I think the place is selling for 20. Then I invested 15 and I got the waiver. This was last year in April when the estate was launched. I think I was among the first people that invested. Yes.
How has your experience with Dr. Stephen been so far?
Amazing.
By the way, I don't know him. By the way, I don't even.
We've chatted. I and Dr. Stephen, we've chatted sometime. Then I was based in Turkey. I was actually in Turkey when I invested in 2022. He referred me to one of his wealth advisors, which I invested, and since then I've been getting my return of investment every year. I think I'm supposed to get the next one in May. I'm supposed to get the next one in May.
Did you invest in GVest? You invested in GVest?
Yes, GVest. I was among the first people that invested.
How much did you invest in GVest? How much did you invest?
I invested in GVest in 2022. I invested 1 million. Then I was still skeptical about the company, and I took it. Let me see, because I was outside the country. So when I did it, like, the follow-up was amazing. I was getting my return on investment. So that was even
block. There's this guy that's just disturbing me. Philly Green or something was his name. Just block him because it seems not to
I've heard him.
yes,
You can't.
because we're having conversation, and please don't just come here and distract us. Dangote does not come on social media to raise funds. Why are you not Dangote? Did they tell you that my own uncle or is Dan Tata? If my uncle is Dan Tata, I won't come here, right? So you guys just come and talk in a stupid way. As at 1980, Dangote was able to get a loan from Dan Tata, who is his uncle. Who, by the way, one of the few Africans who print money. And this is why many of you don't grow, because you don't know the stories of people. You just compare and just talk foolishly, right? And that's why many people from poor background don't rise. Everybody's growth is different, because you have to know your background. Where are you coming from, right? An Otedola's dad was a governor in this Lagos state, so you will not be comparing me with him, right? Who is my own father? He had nothing. I grew up from nothing. I had nobody. So I am of the social media generation. I built my business up ground on the streets. So don't compare people, because you don't even have intellect to understand how do people build businesses. And for your information, I'm not raising 150 million on IG. Nobody will do that. Right? Nobody does that. So if you don't understand things, ask questions. So, but back to you, my brother. So if somebody was asked, so you invested $1 million, because by the way, most of my investors, I don't even know them. I mean, I know you probably have chatted me before on WhatsApp, but I don't, am I correct? I don't know most of my investors. They, you chat me, I link you somewhere in the office.
Yeah,
and
you linked me with one of the wealth advisors, and through her, I did the first investment, and I also did the second investment last year in April when you guys launched the estate. I was actually there live. I flew from Abuja to Lagos. I was actually there for the inspection. Uncle Dele was the one that led the inspection at that time. So I was able to secure that property for 15 million, and I deposited 7 million outright. Then I spread the other payment, and I completed the payment in November last year. So my document was sent to me through DHL. I received it in Abuja last year, December. Yeah.
Beautiful. I mean, first of all, I want to thank you for the boldness to come and share your story, because and Daddy Freeze, I'm happy that you're bringing them, because sometimes, if we're not careful, and like I said, the Indian community, the Jewish community, the African community, particularly the Nigerian community, we must find a way to balance how we handle social media. Somebody was complaining that the freeze that what's this guy's name, Anthony Joshua, did not acknowledge Nigeria after his boxing. Nigerians have become perpetual bullies on social media. And for me, if you are making money, I probably will even understand. We say, okay, now business you do. But the culture where you are not even making a dime from it, and then you build a culture of attacking people. And people said the reason Anthony Joshua did that was when he was winning, yeah, people were praising him. But when he made a loss, Nigeria literally bullied him the same way they did to this Super Ego guy. And we must stop that culture, right? It's a culture where you can't even settle down and listen to people, have decent conversation. The first thing you want to do is and again, here is a guy sharing how he's turning his own story around by making intentional decision. The estate he bought now is now going for 45 million. Daddy Freeze.
Yeah.
They are now doing. They were there on that estate. Now they are doing 8-lane express road in front of that estate he bought. Right,
yeah,
and the guy is telling.
I want to ask.
Yes,
the estate is it open for development now? Because I got an email last month that development can start, you know, from. So I want to get a clear vision of how you run development with your
Yes,
clients.
so
Is it individually?
today, you should go to the company social media page. They did a live tour today, and you will see that the coastal road has started. So meaning we're now facing that road, and you can start development. So the whole place is already developed, and there's electricity. So if you want to build, the only thing we're telling people also is that you should work on the governor's consent, and I'm sure they probably send you a mail on that.
Yeah.
Well, so that you perfect the title in your name, and it comes out with the governor's consent in your name, right? And the governor's consent title is the highest title a land can have, and it means the governor is bearing witness to the fact that you are now the owner of that land. And with such a title, you will not face those issues of they demolish my house, because the governor cannot say he has removed his signature, because signature will be on it that is aware that the land belongs to you. So I think that is one important thing that you want to do, and I'm sure you can talk to the office to help you get that.
Okay. What did you call that again, sir? Governor's approval.
Governor's consent. Governor's consent. Yeah. So
Okay.
when you buy a land and your property has a governor's consent, it means the governor of the state is acknowledging, is the highest title, is acknowledging that he's aware that the property belongs to you, right? So
Okay.
at that point, who else can challenge you? Remember
because they're going to sign us off any second from now. You know, I have that problem.
Yeah, 1 hour issue. Yeah.
4437903925. I want you to take this number down, send a WhatsApp right now. Stop whatever you're doing, get a pen, your notepad, a paper. Instagram is going to end me in the next few seconds. Take down this number if you want to be a part of this investment scheme.